Hey guys, Scott Taylor and Alex Luck from Everest Private Wealth, two financial advisors, and today we just wanted to give our second video around the income protection that's recently been released, given that we've had a lot of questions on it. Again, just a general disclaimer, this is a general advice only. Please take into account your personal circumstances before taking out any insurance, including what we're talking about today.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Scott. As mentioned, we're going to get into some more advanced questions versus the video before. So the first one for you is, what happens if I have a second job? Because we know some paramedics that work in both paramedicine and also are nurses.
Yeah, and we've also got some that work in the uni and teach as well. So those jobs can be covered, again, up to 90% of your combined base salary, okay, base salary only. Again, we are confirming what the maximum is that you can have, because we have heard from a few different people that the maximum is capped at $5,000 per month. So if that's the case, that would be the upper limit, or if it's not, then 90% of your base salary on all combined roles that you do.
Yeah, cool. Can your super fund pay for any of this cover?
No, so your super fund cannot pay for this cover. It needs to come out of pre-taxed earnings, so salary packaging. So what happens is you all would have received an email around this, or if you're part of the union. There's an apply now button within that email. So once you've applied, they will then get in touch with you in terms of what you need to do with Maxia to put this in place. So it does come out of your pre-tax earnings.
Okay, cool. So you've kind of answered it, but are the premiums then tax deductible?
No, so the premiums are not tax deductible. You won't be able to put them in your tax return, but because it is pre-taxed money that you're paying for these premiums with, it's essentially the same outcome, because you're not paying tax on the income that you're using to fund this insurance if you were to take it out.
Yeah, great. So another common thing, so what happens if I've already got an income protection policy within my super fund and then I take out this policy as well? How does that work?
Yeah, so come claim time, what would happen is the policy that you took out first is the one that you have to claim on first, or attempt to. Assuming that one is approved and claimed on, then you would be able to go to the Bank of Vic income protection cover and then claim for a top-up amount up to 90% of your base salary, or up until the cap that Bank of Vic allows. Let's call it $5,000 if that's the case. So as an example, a lot of paramedics will have Rest Super income protection, and it may be around $2,700 per month in benefit. So potentially that's what you would receive from Rest after 60 days, and then then Bank of Vic would top that up until 90% of your base salary.
Yeah, cool. Another question, so is overtime included?
So no, it's base salary only.
Is there any medical tests or questions that you have to answer or perform?
No, so it's automatic acceptance cover, which means you just apply for the cover without having to go through medical questions or tests. The benefit, like we discussed in the previous video, was if you apply within the first 60 days of being a member of the union, or if you apply within 60 days of this being released, which I believe was late November, early December, if you're a member of the union already, then potentially pre-existing conditions are covered under that already.
Yeah, great. And then finally, because this cover sounds like it may not be a bad deal depending on your situation, so should I cancel my existing cover?
So I guess in general terms, you would always want to look at overall what you've got. As an example, if you've got Rest Super income protection, that's got a benefit period to age 60. So that's a lot longer than 2 years in a lot of circumstances. So in that case, you've probably got to be weighing up, is this cover protecting 90% of my salary, a shorter waiting period than Rest, but a much shorter benefit period. Some insurers, you'll be able to push out the waiting period to 2 years. So then you can essentially run two income protection contracts alongside one another. As an example, you've got your existing income protection that now has a 2-year waiting period, but to age 60 or 65. and this new cover which will pay for the first 2 years. So they then complement each other rather than you being overinsured and not being able to claim on both potentially.
Yeah. So probably important to put a bit of thought into your own situation
Yep.
and how you can set this up correctly.
Yep, absolutely.